Hey guys, Jehuty here with another Tekken 7 video, and today we're learning how to deal with Lucky Chloe. The thing about this character is that a whole lot of people don't want to lab her because you don't see her that often online. That's why I've put together this anti-character guide aimed at beginner and intermediate level where we cover the basics of her gimmicks so that you know how to deal with this character going forward. As per usual with these videos, you can find the timestamps in the description to skip to the part you want to, and without further ado, let's get into it. So first up are launchers, and what better launcher to start off with than the Cali roll. This is -8 on block, so it's safe, it's not punishable. By itself it wouldn't be such a big issue, however she can mix it up with a variant which looks like she's cancelling the last hit and going back. Potentially this is launch punishable at -45, but you have to dash in deep to punish her. Of course she's going to be mixing it up. Something else she can also mix it up with is just by going into backturn and doing single back rolls by itself, to bait you out to do something before she throws out the Cali roll. The thing about the Cali roll is that it crushes highs and potentially a lot of mids as well. So what you want to be watching out for is her going into backturn. That is your first thing you watch out for. And the next thing you want to react to is that as soon as she starts rolling, you want to start sidewalking, preferably to the left, because that is her weak side. The move is quite linear, so you can also do it to the right by sidewalking to the right, but preferably to the left. Alternatively, what you can do is, if you block the first part of the string, you can still sidestep the second part of it, so only step in both directions, have you. Now, alternatively, there is a cure-all for both variations of the string, and I'll link a video in the description so that you can find it from another Tekken YouTuber, very good video. This is the variation of Lucky Chloe, which can potentially punish both variations of it, so you'll find it for your character in that video. So Lucky also has 2 hop kicks, yes, you heard that right. The first one is the up forward 3, which is potentially launch punishable at -15, and she has another variant which is more normal, which is up forward 4, -13 on block like most other hop kicks. However, she's going to go for the first one, mainly due to the fact that it has a very small punishing window, and it also crushes a lot of mids on top of also crushing lows, so keep that in mind. So yeah, here are some of our other launchers which you should pay attention to, and the frame data associated with it. However, what I would like to mention is that some of her launchers have kind of fake looking pushback. You can still punish them, or it looks like she's recovering in crouch, so that means high does don't connect, but it's just deceiving you visually, but in reality you can punish it quite easily. Some launchers also have very few block frames. What that means is that after you successfully block, you have to be quick to react with your punisher to get it in, or else Chloe will block your punisher. And of course, certain strings, certain launchers are just safe on block. However, what I want to now look at is Chloe's full crouch mix-up game when it comes to launchers, but particularly this move here, which is whilst crouching down forward 4. A lot of people don't punish this because they think it's safe. However, it's -17 on block, so make sure to launch punish it to discourage her from using it. And what she's going to do is that she's going to mix this up with 2 counter hit launchers, one being a mid kick, which is -12 on block, and one being a kind of low punch, which is -14 on block. So whatever it is, when Chloe tries to bait you out to duck and don't press buttons, because the mids are punishable and the low by itself doesn't do enough damage. What we also have is counter hit back 1. A lot of people don't punish this because they think it's safe, and it looks like it has pushback, but that pushback is fake. Your jabs will still connect. She likes to use this because it also hits grounded opponents, so just keep that in mind that you properly punish this. And the last thing we have is during side step 4, which is -9 on block as a counter hit launcher. However, she is still punishable because she is in backturn. But I must also stress that you should use preferably a mid to punish her, because she may want to use Cali roll, which will go underneath your highs. Of course, there's a dedicated high and low section. However, here are a couple of lows I felt needed their own special attention. The first one being this here. A lot of people get hit by the low because they feel it comes out delayed and unexpected, but it always comes out the same way because Chloe is moving to the rhythm, so you just have to get used to it a bit in practice. What Chloe will also do is she'll keep spamming down forward 1 to condition you not to block low or low parry. However, there's more than enough time to react, so don't worry too much about it. Why Chloe players like to use this string is because if the low successfully hits you, that means you have to eat whatever mix-up she has coming out of the left twist stance. So just keep that in mind. Next up, we have another string you will have to practice a bit in practice mode, and that's a coffee grinder. You will need a bit of time till you get used to the fact that you can low parry the low, and of course also react to the launcher version, which she also has coming out of there. What I would also like to mention here is that, yeah, the launcher is safe, however it's sidesteppable if you can react to it. And she also has a version where she goes for 2 mid variants afterwards, but she says double. So when you hear the double Q, then you know she's going to do 2 of those, and then you can easily sidestep the second one, preferably to the left of course, and launch Punisher. So now we come to Lucky's likely most annoying low, which is the C windmill with its extensions. So yeah, first of all, if she does it by itself, you most likely won't be able to react to the first set of lows. It's minus 13 on block. Don't worry too much about it, but when she goes for the extensions, that's when you need to pay attention. So if she says double, then she's going to go for another set of lows, which are minus 13 on block. So even if you get hit by the first set of lows, you can block the second part of the string. What she's also going to do is she's going to say lucky, and when she says that, what happens is that she's going to go for a mid-high and then ending with a low. And the low you can always block even if you get hit by the other 2. Yeah, and that makes her potentially launch punishable, but what you should keep in mind though is she's in back turn, so Cali roll could come out, just keep that in mind. And what she can also do is that, just like with Cali roll, she can cancel it like in a flip where she goes backwards a bit, and in this case you'll also have to dash in and then launch Punisher. The last low is the one during running or instant while running, 3+4. And yeah, it looks like it tracks, but it's very linear, so when you see her running to you at a certain distance, you can already start sidewalking. So back turn. I've already spoken at length about the Cali roll, and that is the main thing which you want to avoid with her going into back turn. However, there's some other nasty stuff she can pull out of back turn, just so that you keep those little things in mind. The other thing which is also kind of important is a kind of low sweep, a big low. She can mix it in with her rolls. The thing about this is that it is reactable. At first it doesn't look like that, but with a bit of practice you'll be able to react to it. So even if she mixes it with her rolls, you'll be able to react to it. Now what is important here is that you know all of the situations she can use to get into back turn. So just watch these segments here and all of these strings or moves and memorize them so that you know when she can go into back turn. So before we get into the highs and lows, we have this string here which has 2 other variants, and this is the only variant which is punishable at minus 11. The other 2 are safe, this one being minus 4, and the other one ends on a high and is minus 1 or 2 depending on the distance. You should keep in mind that she would like to go for the high variant. Then we have certain strings of luckies which seem like they are mix-ups. However, ducking the second part of the string can solve that issue without a problem. So this is one example. Then we have another one which seems like a mix-up, but in reality you can react to both. Just remember that the low which comes out looks like a lazy low, so you won't be able to identify it around the first time. Just keep your eyes open. And if she goes for the mid variant, it's launch punishable, so she won't be going for that most likely. We already spoke about down forward 1+3, so it's the same thing. Just keep in mind that you can react to the low, even though it looks delayed, it always comes out in the same rhythm. And lastly, we have down forward 3. In season 4, she can now cancel this move, but it is reactable, so just make sure to punish her also for it, it's minus 12. So that brings us to the end of this video. In summary, what I can tell you is that Chloe has been designed in such a way that she's supposed to agitate you, annoy you, for you to do mistakes. So just keep your cool no matter what. Make sure you don't attack her needlessly. Make sure you're not pressing buttons. Remember what I said about the full crouch mix-up. You shouldn't be ducking and you shouldn't be pressing buttons over there, because you will maybe just get away with a bit of damage with the low and she may get launched. So just keep that in mind. So that brings us to the end of this anti-character guide. Thanks for watching the video till to the end. If you liked it, of course, leave a like and consider subscribing to get the latest Tekken content and guides on my YouTube channel, Jehuty Gaming. This is your boy Jehuty, and I'll see you on the next one.